today we are going through my entire makeup collection as a content creator, and we are discussing no buy, low buy 2026. As a 49-year-old content creator that is unsponsored and unfiltered, I have collected quite a bit of makeup over the years. Some of it has come and gone already, but I like to look over my collection from time to time because what that does for me is it helps me to realize what I actually have, and it helps me from buying more makeup. Because yes, I either buy all of my makeup or I get freebies through my product points and my purchasing points, things like that. I do not have PR or gifts coming into my home. So let's look at everything I've got and how it's going to help me to not buy stuff in 2026. This is what has traditionally been my, what I call backstock. And basically it's just smaller items or things that I have bought maybe on sale or whatnot. But what I have learned is that backstock is really not great. So I've got it down to this, and I don't plan on adding to it in the future. But for example, this 12-hour eyeliner, I love these and I fly through them. So when they were on sale, I actually bought two because I know that I use this literally daily, and so it's okay to have a backstock on that. Creme Brulee was kind of an accident to have backstock. I had bought this and had it in here, and then I recently went and got my eyebrows done, forgot that it was in here, and then I bought another one from her. So I don't mind it because I actually fly through my eyebrow products too. However, this is why somebody like me has a really hard time maintaining a backstock, because even though it's very well marked and it's in its own container, I forget to go look at it. So that's one of my issues for 2026 that I am working on, is not having backstock. And actually I'm slowly getting rid of this. When I reorganize everything, I'm not putting anything back in here. Everything's going into my collection, and it's going to go very visible so that I don't make mistakes like this and buy when I don't need it. This is my current collection for mascara, and this is about as much as I need for mascara. So basically what it is I have the primer, which I always use. So I'm always going to have one primer, and that's it. This one is my tubing mascara. I always have a tubing mascara, and I wear them 99% of the time. So I do use these quite quickly, but this was just a great deal. Love it. I'll always have those. And then this is my current smaller one that I'm using. I've realized that I don't need full-size regular mascaras because I primarily use tubing ones, but I do like to go back to old favorites sometimes. So I usually either get a Point Perk one or I purchase the minis. This is the Roller Lash. I absolutely love this mascara. It's so good. Next is like highlighter type of situations. I actually honestly should get rid of this. I got so excited because it was called cottage cheese. That's really the only reason why I bought it. But I've had it for probably at least 3 years now. So that's kind of embarrassing. I think I'm going to have to get it in the dump pile. I'm just going to go ahead and set that to the side now and get rid of it. This I use all the time. Love this. And I thought that I had a backstock of this. Oh yeah, I do. It got slipped over to the side. So I do have backstock of the Fake Awake. Oh no, wait, this is different. Sorry, my bad. I forgot. Oh, I had tried this. This is the L'Oreal one. Well, that tells you how good it is, because this actually works so similarly to the Tarte Fake Awake that I thought I was using Tarte the whole time. So I'm going to have to look at which one is more expensive and which one's a better like bang for your buck. So that's good to know moving forward in the future. The Tarte ones are amazing, but clearly I like this one too. So that's just one backstock on that, and then my current on that. And then this one, I feel really bad. This is supposed to be a brow highlighter, and it's in 2 different shades. This is also my friend Sarah from Sarah B Beauty, but I literally do not reach for this. I do keep it because someday I keep saying I'm going to sculpt my brows, but to be perfectly honest, I don't, and it's pretty much the size as it was when I bought it from her originally. So I don't know. I'm going to set it to the maybe pile. Next up are actually eyeliners, and again, let's see. This is the one I buy. This is the only one I buy. I have one backstock I already showed you. It's the 12-hour from Sephora, and honestly, I think they're running a sale right now. So I am not buying anything, but these eyeliners are so good, and they actually have the little smudger on it, and they may have a sharpener too. These I actually got, again, it was like one of those like just freebies with an Ulta purchase where if you spend like 25 bucks, you can add things on. And I love doing that. That's really how I get 90% of my makeup that I test out, is by doing things like that. So this looks like a lot, but in reality, yes, I've spent money, but a lot of these things I've actually gotten for free, not by gifting, but just by using like my little gift with purchase options and things like that. These are really great cream gel eyeliners, and they're so pretty and fun. I do enjoy them. I would not go out and repurchase them on my own now that I've had all three of these. Because I just don't use them enough, and that's why. Like, they're fun to have, and they're gonna last me forever because I use them probably once a month, but they are great. And if you like holographic fun kind of colors, they're really good bang for your buck as well. But man, that was a great freebie. Again, another kind of like freebie. This was the Stila Liquid Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. It is black. It's jet black. I do not use this. I'm just going to be honest. So I sort of keep these in a pile that are like fun makeup, or if, you know, we need to do some sort of like theme night or something, but I don't use these on the regular basis. So these are probably, I don't even know what to do with them. I try to keep them in my everyday pile to make myself use them, but I really don't use them very often. These are kind of like the eyeshadow sticks. I got kind of influenced. I decided to try the Sephora ones because I was trying to find a dupe for the like Laura Mercier one that I really love. And so this is kind of the mistake that a lot of us make in trying to find dupes, is if we actually go and purchase them, but they're not exactly what we want in the first place, we end up reaching for what we really want, and these sit to the side. This was just not a good color choice for me. It does not do any favors for me. I thought it might. So this one's going to go in the, like, maybe give to a family member pile. I don't know, but I don't need it. And then this one is okay. I do use it. It's pretty rich and dark, though. I actually like the lighter version of the Laura Mercier one. So this one, I learned my lesson. Going forward, I'm only going to buy the ones I actually use and love all the time, and that's it. But I am going to work through this. This one was also a point perk or freebie. This was the taupe from Bobbi Brown. This one is fun, and I'm glad I'm trying it, but this one is actually a matte shade, and I've realized that I like more of a shimmery shade when I put these kind of things on. So it's okay. It works good. It blends out well, but I just don't reach for it very often. Thankfully, it's very small, and it was free. Eyebrows. So you can clearly see I'm always trying something with eyebrows, and I need to just behave. So this one is the oldest. It's almost done. So I've been using it mostly when I go like to the gym and stuff, just to kind of finish it up, because it doesn't hold all day for me anymore. But I go to the gym, I want my eyebrows to look okay, and then I take a shower afterwards. So I'm just sort of making my way through this. This Super Lock is exactly what it says it is. It's like a brow glue. It does work very good. The brush is a little bit on the big side, but it works good. I am making my way through this. And then because I had visited Sarah, I bought my tried and true favorite because I couldn't help myself. But I mean, look how much I've already used. Like, that was quick. I am blowing through this thing. So I will probably, I'm not going to lie. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go try a new eyebrow product. But if I do need another brow gel, I'm most likely going to buy another one from her, because this one I pretty much always have in my collection and I love it. But I mean, this one does not mess around, and you don't want to over apply it because you will be able to see it later if you over apply. So this one does take a little tiny bit of effort, but clearly I love it. So those are those three. Pencils. I don't know what I was doing. I bought 2 of these Anastasia pencils. They are a good product, but I end up making myself have really blocky eyebrows. So I'm trying to kind of work through those, but I realized they're just not my favorite product for eyebrows. I really like these really, really skinny pencils. So the Sarah B Beauty are my actual favorite as far as a dry like pencil, and they don't take up any room at all. So that's what those 2 are. This actually works really good, and I've had it forever. It's the Maybelline like 2-sided one, but this color is really too dark for me. So I would repurchase this. I just need a lighter shade. And this gel, I actually used it. A lot of people don't like it, but it's not bad. And this makes a really good product if you're traveling, because you have it 2 in 1. This Sarah got me to try. It's actually like powder, and the product itself is amazing. However, I am not good at adding powder. I just need really tiny products because of my skill level. So this is not being utilized like it should be. Next category are lip liners. So I'm going to just go ahead and put these in lip liners, even though they're not, but I use them for both. So these are just phenomenal. If I didn't have any of this stuff, I would go and I would buy another one of these. This would be one of the first things that I add to my collection if I didn't have any of this. Just one of these and a good, like, kind of shiny gloss literally would be the only thing you need. If I had the most minimal type of collection, it would probably be something along the lines of one of these, and I'm going to guess probably like a buxom. That would be like my top. I'd probably just buy these two and that would be it. However, I love lip products, so that's obviously not going to happen. So let's talk about lip liners real quick. I love all of these right here, and this I like. This is traced out by Fenty Beauty. I love Fenty Beauty. However, this is a very creamy product and it goes on beautifully, but once I put it on, it actually, to me, operates more as a lipstick than a lip liner. And that's how I use it. I line my lips, but then I fill them in, and then I put some sort of a gloss on, any kind of gloss actually, but I have to be minimal with it because I can get this to run if I'm not careful, but it's really pretty. It's just for my age and everything, I just still kind of prefer a different type of format when it comes to my lip liners. So my tried and true is Charlotte Tilbury. Her lip cheats are just absolutely phenomenal. They are like glue. They don't dry my lips out. They last forever. So clearly, I mean, this is like my, I don't know, 7th one. I mean, it's crazy how much I go through those. And then MAC and Revlon. These are amazing. MAC, you cannot go wrong. Clearly, I love them so much that I always have MAC, and usually in these shades. Burgundy for my red lip. Whirl is just my favorite. And then I currently have Soar, which is also really good, but a little bit more pink, kind of along the lines of the Fenty one. But it would be Burgundy and Soar that I would always have. And then for a drugstore option is the Revlon ones. And I like these because, again, you don't have to sharpen these. So these are great, especially for traveling and whatnot. And if you have problems with like scratching your lips, like if you don't sharpen your pencils enough, try these. These Revlon ones are amazing. Let's just go quickly into these types of products. I do have a Lumi lotion in 2 different shades, and they are great. But this one, I mean, it's only half gone, and I've had this for way too long. I just don't use these products very often at all, so I won't be repurchasing this one. The Lumi Tanned is really good, and you can actually put this into anything, basically, even from like a sunscreen, like a tinted sunscreen, to any of your products, or you can underpaint with this. This is a really pretty product. When I'm done with them, though, I'm not sure that I'll repurchase them, but I'm having fun while I have them. Moving into pressed powders. This is one of those categories that the older I get, the more I can't decide if they're good or bad. So I bought the Easy Bake and Snatch from Huda Beauty. I guess this was the one that was very controversial, and she ended up reformulating. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I have a ton of it still. I do use it. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever, but I'm not going to spend forever on this because I don't even think you can purchase this anymore at all. And obviously I wouldn't repurchase that for that reason. Pat McGrath Labs, I was definitely influenced to buy this. This was the yellow shade. This one is supposed to be like absolutely incredible for under your eyes. However, Pat McGrath Labs is also, I don't know if they might have underwent like bankruptcy, something like that. So they're restructuring right now. I have no idea what's going on with them, but I think things are going to change in the future. So I don't know about accessibility with things. And would I repurchase this again? No, I would not. It's okay, but it definitely didn't change my life. So those two are just like, I'm kind of using them. I don't love them. This was actually like a points perk freebie. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I love that it's so tiny. I actually travel with it. It works okay. Again, it hasn't been life-changing for me, but I love that it's really small, and I travel with this a lot and do it on my under eyes or my T-zone or whatever. So mostly I just kept it for the size. Laura Geller. This is a good product. I had done a whole Laura Geller review and I was going to return everything. However, when I contacted them, it got really kind of interesting and I ended up keeping the products. It wasn't bad and it was not bad at all on their part. It actually worked out really well for me, but I didn't want to waste the products and just throw them away. So I have kept them and I actually use this, not a lot, but I use it especially if I'm doing if I have something that is very shiny or oily, I'll use this. Or if I have something that's too light of a coverage, maybe like a tinted sunscreen or something, and I need more coverage in a certain area, I use this and it works really well. Like, this is actually a really good baked product. This is the Baked Balance and Brighten in Light. So I do like this, and even though I said I was going to return everything and I wouldn't repurchase it, I'm definitely at the moment not like I think that that's a true statement still, but because I ended up keeping it, I'm going to utilize it and it's not bad. It's actually, this is pretty good. I have found ways to use it and make it work. This was a surprise to me. This is the Morphe Pink Under Eye Setting Powder. What I have realized for myself is that I have been using way too light of products under my eyes and they're looking really ashy. So I actually love this powder. However, I think going forward, I'm going to look and see what other shades they have. Again, I spent $0 on this. It's the mini. I love it. As far as the formula goes, though, it works really, really well. So if you like a pink powder, and this is loose, look for Morphe. They are really good. I just need I think a different shade for myself going forward. This is really old. Better Believe It face powder. Honestly, it probably should get thrown out at this point, but I do still use it because if they even still make this is actually a really good pressed powder, and it's one of those ones that has different shades. Face primers are actually kind of a joke, and for me personally, this is hilarious that I have this many because I literally use them like twice a year. So again, you can tell these are all free. These were not purchases that I made. This one was a gift, but even so, I think it was still their little like baby one. Because if I haven't mentioned this before, I clearly have a little bit of a makeup addiction. Like I said, I either buy these or get them free from my points. But I have family members that sort of feed my addiction, especially during holidays. So my stocking is often filled with tons of makeup and or skincare. And then on my birthday, I get quite a bit as well. So in my defense, they have helped with part of this problem. Got to put the blame somewhere, right? So this was purchased for me, oh my goodness, maybe 2 years ago now. And it was obviously the small baby. And I still have not finished this. So that tells you a lot about me and primers. It's okay. It kind of works, but not enough for me to keep using it. This is brand new to me. I got the best Ulta Beauty freebie set. I'm talking, they had so many items in here. They had this, let me show you this. This is like a really good sized blush. And then they had this little guy, which is like a lip gloss. They had this, and then it came with a makeup sponge and maybe one other item. I just can't seem to remember at the moment. But it was like literally like a 5-piece set that I got for free. It was like a gift with purchase. I mean, that's pretty incredible. So anyway, all that to say, I have not even tried this yet, but I just got it. It's just been added to my collection probably like a month ago, and it's mattifying, so I definitely want to try that, especially when the weather gets hot. The Double Wear Smooth and Blur Primer. This one looks like I'm going to get 2 to 3 maybe uses out of it, so I might try all of this more when it gets a lot warmer. Let's see, Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. Oh, this one has sunscreen in it. So yeah, definitely. These are all things that I'm going to use probably starting in like April or May. So I will make my way through most of this. I just don't need it at the moment. And then this one I was so confused on. I'm so glad I got it again as a point perk. But look, I've barely used it. So if you want to leave me a comment below if you like this. This is in the shade Universal. This is Janessa Myricks. I think it's a great product, and I've heard so much about it, but I just haven't figured out how to use it properly, so help me out on that. Also, as far as, this is the one primer I do use the most. Oh yeah, this was also part of the Ulta Beauty thing. This is the shade Soft Ochre from MAC, so this is looking funky. Why does this putty up like this? It's so gross. It's not even that old, but it works good. This is what I use for an eye primer a lot of days. And then I got this matte It's the Matte Veil Eye Primer in my little gift set. This is really good, you guys. This, I mean, I like it a lot. I would definitely repurchase this. And I think I'm going to going forward. Just the way this keeps getting weird on me. This is probably like my third tub of this, and it just always looks funky. I think after I'm done with this, I'm going to move forward and just buy the matte veil primer in the future for my eyes. I only have one corrector, and it's currently the Bobbi Brown stick. It was recommended by, I think, like Stephanie Marie. It's almost gone. So this is definitely going to be my next kind of bigger purchase on my no buy, low buy for 2026. I am going to be buying more makeup if I completely run out and don't have anything else in that category. So that's why I mean low buy, because obviously I'm not going to need any more lip products. Even though I make no guarantees there. But I will need to repurchase things that I run out of. So that's what my goal is for 2026, is to literally use what I've got. And then if I'm completely out of a product that I absolutely love and reach for every day, I need to replace it. So give me some ideas in the comments below, please, for correctors. The one I used prior to this was Tarte. I did used to use the Becca under eye, but that's so like brightening and shiny that I have to powder it down a ton, and I'm just not there in life anymore. So if you have something that you really love, let me know in the comments below, because this one's going to be gone. And also with concealers, because first of all, this one has to go. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I had taken this with me and tried to match up like that, because you can't test these in the store, and it is not right. This makes my eyes look so gray. I love the actual formula of it, and I've purchased this tons of times over the years, but I've never gotten the color right for myself. So this one, unfortunately, even though it's almost full, it's going to have to go, because it's just not doing what it needs to do for my color. I've had this way too long. I just can't get rid of it, because if I use the tiniest amount, it works okay, and I spent a lot of money on it, but I wouldn't repurchase it, to be honest with you. This one, it works pretty well. Again, though, none of this wows me. I'm struggling so bad with under eye concealers. And I think moving forward, I want to go with much darker shades. I want to go with like almost like corrector color, you know, like that's almost as close as my regular makeup, because anything lightening and brightening is just turning me like really ashy under my eyes, and I don't like it. This one is probably the best I've been doing so far, because I think it's not unreasonable to have like a cream and a powder. I do have technically two more that I'll get to in a minute that are in face palettes. But as far as freestanding bronzers, clearly I have a style. I love, 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 love NARS. And so this one is almost gone. Well, I mean, it's going to last me a little longer, but I mean, I've clearly hit pan. I'm refusing to buy any more, even after this one, because I'll show you later what I'm going to finish up before, but this is so, so good. This is the Laguna number 2. This is the original, and I reach for this almost every day. This one was what I was working with before. It's getting funky, but you can see like it's almost, do you see that? These do last absolutely forever though. So I think that they are definitely worth the money, because they last so long. Like that's the one thing about higher end makeup I've noticed, is that drugstore stuff, I seem to like fly through it really quickly. And when I actually spend the money on like stuff at like this, you know, say from Sephora or whatever, it just lasts so much longer. And most of the time it has more product in it. Most of the time. I don't know what it is, but so I have realized that 9 times out of 10, spending more money on something really is worth it for you. What this is it's a tinted balm. So hopefully it's not too ugly. It's probably got makeup hairs in it. This is a balm that I actually dip my brush straight into, and I just use it all over my face. And I use this on light days where I don't need a ton of coverage for hours and hours and hours, or I'll even throw this on if I'm going to do a light workout or just need to go run some errands real quick. It's just a really good grab and go product. I am sad that I heard they're discontinuing this, but again, the fact that It Cosmetics is making something very similar tells me that there's still a market for this type of product, and maybe they'll bring it back, but it's really good, you guys. I also have Soft Glam, and this is a funny product because I actually did not love this when I bought it. I was like really negative on it, and I still don't think it's like the greatest product on the planet, but I realize that I reach for it still pretty regularly because the coverage and the ease of use. I realize that I love this type like of a delivery system, kind of like a little squirty tube, and it's a thicker product. So I do like that overall. And if you love this, I see why. I really do. I'm actually making my way through it, and I almost decluttered it like 2 times, and I'm like, no, let's just use this. It actually kind of works, so not bad. This Herborian BB cream is, I won't be repurchasing this finally. I have used their BB creams over the years, and I've loved having them in my collection, and I've used them completely up in the past. However, when I put this on, it's pretty thick, and it works really well, wears down well. So here I am saying it's a great product, but I don't want to buy it. I don't know what my problem is with this. I think part of it is the lack of shade range, and that's a whole other story you can talk about. But the shade ranges are not perfect. Even if you do find one that's close to your color by chance, they're still not the most perfect. And so I feel like some days it's too orange, some days it's too light, some days it's too dark. I mean, you know what I mean? And so that's the one problem. And look, this is how old it's getting. So I definitely need to probably get rid of this soon. The last products are actually little samples, and I do want to talk about this really quickly because samples can be such a big way to save money. I I was going back and forth with the Chanel's, so I have a couple of their Le Tint Velvets, and I have their number 1 that I've been going back and forth testing, and I can't decide if I love these or hate these, but I love the fact that I have multiple uses to decide before I go and drop a ton of money. They used to have my all-time favorite like coverage product, and I mean, I would just hand them my money. I'd be like, this is the greatest thing ever. But then once they reformulated, I'm not so sure. So that's where I'm working right now. But honestly, I mean, these have lasted me so long, and they're actually helping me to prolong all of my coverage products because I'm sampling things that I genuinely want to try. This one is currently a Milk Hydro Tint, and again, this is why I ended up purchasing it. I got a sample pack, kind of like one of these types of guys that has like the little coverage things. I squirted it in here, and I've been using it, and I thought that it was like the most perfect product ever. And then once I went and bought the actual product, I'm like, I don't know if I love that. So I'm just going to use this one up and return the big one because I don't know what it is, but this one seems to be working and that one's not. This also is a sample of, unfortunately, I forgot to label it, and I can't remember what this is a sample of. So I probably shouldn't even be talking about this, but this is what I generally do. If I get a good size sample, I don't just squirt it out and let it dry out. I reuse these, and then in theory, I label them. See how this says milk on it? I just forgot to label this because I thought I could remember, and unfortunately I can't at the moment. Hopefully later I will. These are sunscreens, but I'm going to put them in their kind of own category because this one operates like a primer. And I think that's why I don't use a lot of separate primers, is because if I'm going to take the time to put something on, I really want it to work well and do something important for me. So instead of buying a separate primer, a separate sunscreen, I usually try to find these kind of like mattifying sunscreens that actually work well as primers. And this one from Trader Joe's is incredible. It works so well. And as far as I can tell, they keep this regularly now. It's not just like seasonal. So this actually is more of a primer to me. So I'll put it in that category. And this Elastin should actually be in my face products category because this one, oh my gosh, this one is why I don't need a ton of coverage products, is because this is like an all-in-one for me. It's a moisturizer, a sunscreen, and it actually offers a little bit of coverage for me. So yes, this is very expensive. It's probably between $80 and $100, but because it's 3 products in one for me, and it literally lasts forever. I bought one and it lasted me almost a year, something like 9 or 10 months. So it totally was worth it to me, and I just bought this brand new one. So that's why it was not in my coverage section, but this is perfection. As far as highlighters go, I do have one face palette that, oh no, I actually have a couple face palettes. So let's just talk about these two freestanding ones. This is Ancient. However, it's a baked kind of a product. And every time I've decluttered this, I've literally gone and pulled it back out because it just keeps going. And this is something that I like to use to compare when I am doing like compare and contrast videos and things like that. But also it really genuinely works well. And I actually like this one. And the reason why I keep using it is primarily because I use it like on my, what's the proper word, décolleté, and then like on my shoulders and things, especially in the spring and summer. So I actually use this now more for like my body now that it's kind of old. But I mean, if you want bang for your buck, this lasts absolutely forever. I can't tell you how old this is, and it doesn't even look like I've hardly touched it. So this is definitely a great product. And then as far as NARS is concerned, again, this was a free gift with purchase. This is the true original Orgasm blush from NARS, but let me open it up and show you. It's so pale and light that it's actually, to me, more of a highlighter. Like, oh, it looks a little darker in here, but when you put it on, at least with my skin tone, you can hardly see it. So this actually, to me, acts more like a blush topper than a true blush. And this little thing's gonna last me absolutely forever. So I love that I got it for free. Moving into blushes, and this is an area that I got a little bit out of hand with for a while, so I'm really trying to tone it down. I won't get into it too much, but this is one of that freebie I got with that whole Ulta set. And I've actually been reaching for this a ton. If you want an affordable blush that's like a stick that's easy to travel with, like I don't know if I'm going to say this rivals my like old Milk favorites or not, but goodness gracious, this is really good. I think that might be a comparison video coming up, is comparing these to the Milk ones, because this, I don't use a ton of Ulta products, but this little 5 set that I got is really swaying me to use them more and more. This is super pretty. I reach for it a lot. Unfortunately, the packaging, like this has come off already. Like it's so fast. So I don't even know what color this is, but it's a really good product. I like it a lot. Ilia, we have 2 of these and they're tiny, but they're gonna last forever. They literally last so long, but this is a really pretty blush as well. Cream blush. This is called At Last, if they still make it. This is Ancient. This should actually be in my collector's pile, but I kind of unfortunately still use it sometimes. And this is like the perfect blush that I'm always comparing things to. This is, I can't even say it. It doesn't even exist anymore with NARS. It's called like Goli or Golu. I don't know what the word is. But this shade, to me, this is what like I thought Orgasm was gonna be for me, but this was actually the one that I liked better when Orgasm was a big deal. So I love it so much. I refuse to get rid of it, and I will probably have to, I don't know, retire it, but I don't want to yet. This again was another little freebie. I'm so glad I got to try it for free. It's a very interesting shade. This is a cream blush, but what's so weird about it is, do you see that dark shade? That keeps happening every single time I use it, and it kind of is grossing me out. So I loved this when I first got it, but I don't know why it's doing that. And this is Peach Face, and this is, again, it's Cheeks Out from Fenty Beauty. So let me know in the comments below how this product has worked for you guys, if you have used the Fenty Beauty like cream blushes, because I have no idea why it's doing that. It's the only blush I've ever seen do that. Let's see, I also have an old Teddy from Persona. This is the only one I've kept because it's like I don't know, it's just a really natural neutral shade. It's different than anything else I have. I had bought the bubblegum pink one, but I realized that's terrible on my skin tone. So I've kept this one, and I like to use it, especially when I'm more tanned. This I love, love, love. This is the Sun Blush from It Cosmetics. It looks like it's starting to dry out because it's separating from the glass. And that's kind of my problem with a lot of cream products, but this is so good. I love this. And it's so light and just really soft and pretty. This is in the shade Sunlit 10. And this is something else. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I like to date my products whenever I can, because I mean, look, now I know how old this is, right? It's like over 2 years old. No, a year and a half old, something like that. So I know like when it's getting way past its prime, and I should decide there. This is one I will always have in my collection. It's Party from Tarte. This just works for my skin tone, and this is an incredible powder product. I love this formula so much. So good. Then I have Moon and Willa. Again, I suggest if you are going to buy things like this, literally buy the small one, because, I mean, Willa is like not going anywhere. It's lasting me absolutely forever, but yet Moon is too. And even though it's like a smaller little box, I mean, it lasts so long. It still even says the name on it, and I've used it countless times. So again, I know it's like more bang for your buck for the big one, but honestly, product-wise, you end up throwing stuff away half the time, so the small ones usually work better. All right, I've only got 3 departments left here. So as far as eyeshadow palettes, I was so excited to get this Urban Decay palette a while back when they relaunched it. And I'm just sad to say I don't reach for it nearly as much. I did reach for it this week, but I have to make myself, because what I realized is this does not have any like lighter matte shades. This has like a sheen to it. So no matter what I use with this, I still have to dig into another one, and I'm just too lazy for that. So unfortunately, I do like these, and I think they have pretty colors, but because too many of them have sheens, I don't reach for it enough because I hate opening more than one at a time. But again, it's just one of those things that I decided to spend the money on, so now I have it. This one I was highly influenced to buy from Stephanie Marie, and I think that I have very mixed feelings about this. So these right here are like creamy and chunky, but they don't stick if you already have a powder on. So even if you put like a powder on and you get it on your finger and try to pat it on, they don't stay. It's like one of those really finicky ones that you have to almost put like an eyeshadow like glue or eyeshadow primer and not put anything else on your lids for this to stick. And so many of these shades are way too warm or way too pink for me that every single time I use it, I end up not loving my look. So unfortunately, I think this one is about to go for me. I've had it for a really long time, so 923. So I think it's definitely long enough to give this one, you know, a try. And I'm just not super happy with it. And I don't know. I just learned my lesson. I don't think I like these super warm palettes. I like a little bit more taupey palettes. So this one's going to go. Tarte. Okay, let's discuss this. I should have never bought this one. It's a good palette though. However, I love this one, and they had discontinued it temporarily, and I was so upset that I thought, okay, well, I'll just buy the next best thing, and I bought the all matte palette. But what I realized is I do like a little bit of shimmer, so I don't reach for this nearly as much as I should. It's gorgeous though. So if you like an all matte palette, this is fabulous. However, once they reformulated or whatever and brought this back out, I immediately ran and bought it because it's one of my all-time favorites. So this poor thing got set to the side. This one was like, you know, the backup plan, you know what I mean? And I shouldn't have done that. But it's good, and I'm trying to make my way through it slowly. But this one is just my all-time favorite. I love the tone for me. So this is it for me. If I only had currently one palette to buy, for me personally, it would be this one. And I would add this one, but it doesn't exist anymore. So I'm so sad. I loved when Sephora came out with these. They've come out with a few different palettes over the years, and this was one of my favorite. This was the Gemstones one. And again, do you see the shades there? That's just what works for me. So this was so easy and fun, and I keep it, even though it's probably aged out. Yep, 224, but I don't care. I'm going to use this one up, definitely. And I just wish Sephora would come out with it again. So this was probably not the greatest of purchases. This one is discontinued. This one is amazing if you like an all matte palette. It's really good, but I personally wouldn't repurchase it because I like a little shimmer. This one, I could give this one a kiss. Last but not least is this little guy. Again, I told you this was a freebie. And even though this is a warmer palette, and I just said these are not my favorite, I mean, this would have done me probably more good to have this than ever to buy this. So if you like the idea of these warmer, pinkier shades, you might consider these types of things. Now, this one does definitely have a lot more payoff, but again, the shimmery shades just got really weird on me, and they're too chunky. This one doesn't have as much of a payoff at all, but if you like lighter shades and you like your stuff just to go on very soft and smooth, these are actually not bad. I mean, you know, they do have good color payoff. And do you see that? How pretty is that? These are really, really cute. But see how mild that is. But yeah, love this. I actually think these would be good palettes, like starter palettes. Say you have like a young teenager that's really wanting a small palette. Um, I personally like this a little bit better than the e.l.f. ones and some of the other ones that have come out. So yeah, this might be a good option. Hourglass ambient little, like, I don't know, set. I don't know, guys. I love this powder, but I just catch myself not reaching for it nearly as much as I should. I used to be obsessed with it and use, like, I'd have like a single of one of these and use it constantly. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe my collection just got too big and too overwhelming, but these are great, great baked powders. I just need to kind of weed everything out and really start using what I've got. These are beautiful though, and I do use them. But again, like the Essence Pure Nude, this thing works the same almost as this in a lot of ways. It's a little more sparkly. This is a little more sophisticated, but goodness gracious, I could pretty much use them interchangeably. Like them a lot. I do try to add this sometimes when I have really pale skin as my bronzer. So I am working my way through it. This is going to last me forever though. Laura Geller Face Baked palette, whatever you want to call it. It still has a little thing on it. This, again, this is what has stopped me from buying the new CoverGirl baked bronzers and whatnot, and the Milani reformulation, is I have this already. I have the Starfish Island and I have the Roman Holiday. So I really don't need any baked products. And I have to keep reminding myself of that. Every time I watch a video on those new reformulations and those new products on baked ones from the drugstore, I have to tell myself, nope, you have these at home. You got it at home. Just use this up first. You don't need any more baked products. All right, this is the reason that I started this video in the first place. This is actually embarrassing. So you know that whole trend where you're supposed to put your lip products in a cute bowl? Like, what the heck? I'd have to have a giant Tupperware bowl. Like, this is insane. I do not need this many lip products. So what has all of this taught me? Let me tell you, is I need to stop buying a product just because it's new. I need to stop buying backstock when I already have stuff. And I need to be very careful with doing dupe videos, because the reason why I have this is because I was trying to find out if it was a dupe for the Laneige. But at the time, I already had the eggnog Laneige, I already had the watermelon, and I had my backstock in that little bin that I still keep forgetting to use. So now I've got this full container of a dupe, which it is a good product, it's fine. However, I did not personally need it, and I just got excited wanting to make a dupe video. So now I've got this and this. Then this was given to me. It was just one of those little, I don't know, it was part of like a little gift set, and the person who gave it to me didn't really like this chocolate brown flavor. And so I thought, oh, it's Laneige, I'll take it. And now I've got it, and I don't love it either. It's just like a Tootsie Roll to me, and I don't necessarily want Tootsie Roll flavor on my lips before I go to bed. So unfortunately, this might have to go too. It's not a bad product, and if you like Tootsie Rolls, it's great, but I don't know. It's really not something I want to reach for. Tom Ford, I love this, and I'm glad that it's small, so I have a beautiful shade of red, and this stopped me from buying other red like lip products throughout the holidays, because I remembered that I had this one, and this is really all I needed. As far as, oh, let me just talk about this one real quick. This was a gift. Somebody gave this to me, and I don't like rose flavored anything on my lips. So honestly, what I use for this is I'm actually repurposing this, and I put it on my cuticles at night. So I'm working my way through it because it wasn't like a returnable item to me, but I'm using it not for the intended purpose. So that's one way to use products up to, if it's usable in that way. The rest of these, holy moly, this lifter glosses, love, and I've talked about them for years. However, I've stopped purchasing them because they are so bulky and they're so messy long term. I don't feel like I can really travel with them well, and they're too big to put in smaller purses. So yes, they're an amazing product and they're really pretty, and you can, if you just have like one that you kind of set up and you use all the time at home, that's great. But they're a little too big. And in light of so many other products coming out, I just realized that I don't need packaging that's this big or messy. So I'm going to finish them, and I love the product inside. It's just everything else makes it a little too difficult to work with and want to take with me everywhere. So unfortunately, those are the last two I've got, and that's that. Fenty, you know I love Fenty, so I think this one was like a special one. Definitely will use this. I use this a couple times a week probably. I just slap it on over whatever I'm wearing. This is my car lip butter. I actually like the Tree Hut stuff. It's more slippy and glossy and kind of slides around your lips a lot, but I like keeping this type of format that's really inexpensive and clear in my car or like maybe in my kitchen, that type of thing. So this is currently my car lip gloss. This stuff, oh my gosh, I would repurchase this, no problem. I love the Fresh Kiss products, but again, I like the lighter shades that don't have a lot of flavor or scent on them or color, but these are a really good formula. So I have two of those. The vanilla one's better to me than the mango one. So this one I keep, I think, in my kitchen, and then this one I just kind of keep in my bathroom, wherever. That shouldn't belong there. Oh, that's setting spray. Where are we next? This. I would not repurchase this. This is the Revlon Glimmer. It works okay, does not dry out my lips, but I cannot stand the flavor of this. So I put this kind of like in my computer office to use, just to try to use it up. But honestly, the more I'm looking at this, I don't want it anymore. Again, it was for a video and I shouldn't have done it. I've also learned my lesson on buying multi-packs. I love my Dolly from Buxom so much that one year they had this like whole giant kit, and I think it was like a 5-pack, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened to the other one. Yeah, I don't, oh, here it is. I don't need 5 of anything. And although I was excited and it was beautiful, I really should have broken this setup and given a bunch away at Christmas because I'm struggling to get through all of them. Yes, it made me realize I like White Russian and I like a lot of these shades, but I just physically cannot get through all of them. And I already had a big one. I already had a big one of the Dolly. And look, now I'm not using it up because I've got too many to use. So I will no longer be buying multi-packs unless I'm going to break them up and give a bunch of them away. Also got a little mini freebie Summer Fridays. I think it was for my birthday. I'm glad I got this to try. It's very, very thick. It's a nice product. I just don't think that I have to spend the money on it. However, I think I like the Summer Fridays a little bit better than the Ole Henriksen. This stuff, man, it's like a non-sticky glue when you put this on your lips. I've never felt a sensation like that than the Ole Henriksen. And unfortunately, I got this one that's vanilla bonbon, and it actually literally tastes and smells like a burnt marshmallow. And I like toasted marshmallow. I don't like burnt marshmallows. But the product itself is so good that I do use it as a lip treatment. But I mean, it is thick and it glues on. So I think in the future, I'm not spending the money on these. I'd probably buy Fresh Kiss again. Looking at, oh, Sarah B Beauty, she had a little lip balm. This was a freebie she gave me. I haven't used it yet. This, I like this Maracuja lip tint. Again, it gave me a great sample, but the problem is I don't think I'll buy it in the future because the sample is, let me see if I can do this for you. The sample is like this, which I actually like the format of, but the real thing is one of those felt tip type of products that looks a lot like this. So I think this would be too messy and like really hard to control. So unfortunately, I think this is probably a good product. I just think the delivery system is not great. At least in my book, I wouldn't want this on my lips. So I won't be buying it for that reason. But unfortunately, you know, I'm just going to use the sample up. This was that freebie from Ulta. The gloss is okay, actually. It's not bad at all, but again, it's just a gloss. So I don't think, I'm gonna smell it. It's okay, it smells like vanilla. I don't think that I would really repurchase this. I don't really need it, don't have a true reason for it, but I think it's a decent product if you just want a little bit of a shiny gloss. I do not like Tower 28. I don't like the smell of it. It's just okay. I don't see the point in it. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that because I already talked about all those. again, should have just dealt with the sample on this. These are great formulas. However, I don't reach for lipstick as much as I maybe should. One was a birthday gift, so I can't blame myself for that. This is Pillow Talk Medium and Pillow Talk Intense. So these are very, very dark shades. I love the fact that I have them. However, I could have easily done with just a little one of probably both of them, if I'm being honest. If I was a minimalist and just like loved this and just had one, I totally get it. But clearly I'm not, and I like glosses a lot more on the regular. Minis would have been the way to go for me for that. These two are old, but I keep messing with them and I don't get rid of them. This is Daringly Nude and Ferris Nude. I like to play with these, and I like to do these for like lipstick of the days and mix these up to make my own like concoctions and shades. However, they're aging out, and in all honesty, I should get rid of them. And both of them are definitely way too light for me to wear on my own. These are like concealer lips for me, but I have them and I've used them in so many videos, and I play with them with lip liners a lot. I'm actually only down to 2 MAC lipsticks now, and I think going forward, I'm gonna not buy lipstick very often. It's just something I don't use on the regular. This is Faux, and this is Peach Blossom. This is not even a shade I should have ever bought. I was influenced, and it's not the right shade for my skin tone, so I'm probably gonna get rid of that, and it's old. Faux, I can still work. It's definitely like a more fun pink. It's a really good formula, but again, I just don't use lipstick enough. This is one of my newer products. Oh my gosh, I'm flying through this. And it obviously doesn't have a ton of product in it. So you might want to look at like bang for your buck, how much you're spending if you're trying to use this just as a dupe that's cheaper. Yes, it works great. I love it, but it's not going to last very long. You just keep reapplying it, and I don't know. I don't know if the more expensive version lasts longer than this or not, but it's a good product. Love e.l.f. lip glosses. These are so great. So this is my newest one. It was a freebie as well from Target. And then Plump Ambition. This is the Hyaluron Lip Oil. I really love this. And again, this was my latest like splurge, and I bought it for myself. I love it. But going forward, I would buy this in the non-burning one. This is the plumping. This was a freebie as well, Fenty Beauty. This is the Heat. I wouldn't buy this myself necessarily, but this is a beautiful product, and I'm glad I got to try it for free. And then again, this is Rum Raisin. So this is kind of one of those amazing, like iconic things. I actually reach for this a lot. So I do use this, and I'm halfway through it. I cannot believe I completely forgot about a category, and this is makeup setting sprays. So MAC Fix Plus. This will always be in my drawer. Love it. This is probably my 10th one. It's incredible. Love it. I love that they changed the sprayer. It's even better than it used to be. So good. It's just, I use this before makeup. I use this after makeup. It's not necessarily going to set your makeup, but it kind of melts everything together if you're looking a little powdery without adding a ton of greasiness or oiliness to it. And it's a great like pre-step to help moisten your face, because especially as we age, we just lose so much moisture that this kind of adds to it, especially if you're on the drier side. So always great. This I really like. I think it works really, really well. And personally, I like this better than most true setting sprays. However, the delivery system for a setting spray, this one can kind of like spit at you sometimes. So you have to be really kind of careful with that, but it does work well. You just have to know what you're working with. This was free to me. Can you believe that? This was one of those like free things from my Ulta account. So it does pay off to be loyal and to have an account with people. Like, I'm not talking credit card either. I do not condone credit cards, especially for things like that. But I have like their rewards account, and I'm very loyal to this place, and I shop their sales. So I just get better and better deals all the time. So this is completely free. This is full size. And even though this is, I think, the shinier one, like it's more of like the dewy one, I actually really like this because sometimes matte setting sprays make my face crack. And so I spray this primarily on like the outskirts of my face, not necessarily too much on my T-zone, but on the outer spots. And it adds like a really pretty softness. But next time I think I would purchase the other version that they have. And I love the delivery system. It's a continuous spray. I did buy this. Again, I bought the small one because I've heard so much about it. This definitely works, but it is like hairspray for your face. They are absolutely correct in that. But I think this stuff is no joke. And I'm glad I have a small version because I really don't need this type of thing a lot. But if you're going to go out for the night or need your makeup to last forever, I do think this one definitely stands up to the name here. This was a freebie. I got this too recently. I don't know, guys. I've only used it a couple times. It kind of spits out at me, and I haven't noticed too much of a change when I do use this. I'm going to have to really put it to the test, though, and maybe do, I don't know, a makeup that I know doesn't do really well and spray this and see if it helps. But again, I like the little size for traveling, and I love that I didn't spend money on it. All right, I thought it would be interesting just for myself to see what I would actually pick if I was shopping from my own collection, and I could only pick a couple from each category. So I think if push came to shove with my current collection, that's not, new things, I would hands down have to get my Fix Plus. I would hands down use this as everything. It's sunscreen, lotion, coverage. I would need a corrector. So this is my current corrector. I would need a concealer. This is the best one I think I've got at the moment. I would definitely need eyebrow products. So I think from my current collection, color and everything, I would do my CeraVe Beauty, the small pencil, and the clear gel because they just work the best of what I've got. I always would have this. I would buy this 100 times over. I would always buy this as well. I really love this Laura Mercier pencil. As far as lips, that's going to be the hardest for me, but this is true to what I would buy. I would definitely have my two. I'd have burgundy because that adds to a red shade. I would have this, My Lips But Better, Charlotte Tilbury, because it's amazing. I would always have one of these in my collection. They just do everything. And this was a hard one for me, but I would truly have a really tried and true red lip. I love it. I would have a lip balm that's easy to apply. I love Elf. Their lip oils are amazing. I love Buxom. I've literally had one of these in my collection since I discovered it. And I would always have one of these. Then let's see. In my current collection, I think I would honestly go with these two. I really like how they both work. I would have one eyeshadow palette, and it would be this one. I would have Hourglass in some form or another, and I love that this is a 3-pack, so I can use it multiple different ways. I always will have this. I have, again, had this in my collection constantly. I've had multiple of these. I guess I would go with the NARS powder over the cream because the powder lasts longer and the cream dries out. I really like a cream type of blush. In my current collection, this would be the cream that I would have. Normally, it would probably be a Milk makeup, or I don't know, I need to test it against this one. But current collection, hands down this one. I love this eye primer, and going forward, I think I'm going to buy this instead of even the MAC. And then I would want a loose powder and a pressed powder. And again, of my current collection, I think these two perform the best. I would get a Morphe loose powder, and I really do like this because it kind of does a lot of things. You can set things with it, but it also provides a little bit of coverage if you need it. As far as any of this kind of mascara stuff, I always will have a primer, always have a tubing, always have like my inner waterline, and always have a different that's not tubing mascara, and Roller Lash is currently my favorite. It's been my favorite for a really long time. So that would be, if like this is all I could keep and had to condense, this would be my collection based on shopping my stash. Wow, that was kind of exhausting. This was probably the longest video that I have filmed to date, so thank you for hanging in there with me. But I think that stresses the importance of our consumption and being really aware of what we have in our home in one category. So I'm looking down and I'm almost overwhelmed by what I see. And then I have to keep it in perspective and say, wow, if I did accept gifts and PR and that type of stuff, now I can see why these like beauty content creators have entire rooms full of things and they're just overwhelmed and overloaded and have to do these declutters and have to do these annual videos where they're reassessing their like life choices. Because even with this collection that I have built over the years and get rid of a lot of things with my own money or by kind of shopping strategically and getting freebies, it's just too much. And so I have really made a strategic choice for 2026 to not buy more makeup and to really, I'm okay with watching videos, but I've learned to use them as inspiration versus what I need to go buy. And then of course, because I do this practically professionally, I go to stores weekly. And so what I do when I go in there is I swatch them and my hands are covered at all times with things so that I can really see wear tests, colors, things like that. And then what I do is I go home with all those swatches and or samples and I compare them to what I already have. And so that really helps me to kind of get rid of that FOMO and just realize, no, you don't need to go and buy all the new CoverGirl baked products because you have baked products at home that you're not really even reaching for. So why are you going to add to that mess, you know? And the same thing with lip products. So yes, I do have probably a bigger collection than the average person. I have really started to realize that even my purchased and free collection is still a little bit more than I can handle. So I'm going to work my way through it through 2026 and only be repurchasing whatever it is that I'm absolutely out of and deciding if I really need it or not going forward. So I hope this video helped inspire you to really take a look at your collections too. And say if you're watching videos later and you're like, oh my gosh, I need that new Milani, you know, blush, maybe go into your collection and be honest with yourself and pull out all of your blushes. And once you can see them physically all in one space and you realize what you have, then you can make a better decision. Do I really need it? Do I just want it? Or can I hold off a little bit? You know, hopefully that helps because I think it just helps us all to not get overwhelmed and not add to the stress level of having all these things, because the more you have, the more you have to take care of. And quite frankly, I'm getting really tired of taking care of all this stuff. All right, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please let me know in the comments below if this type of video helps you and what your strategies are for maintaining what you've got in your beauty collection. All right, thanks again, and until next time, I'll see you soon.